And they put themselves in a cave and they fall into a depression for months at a time. Come to church, depressed. Go to work, depressed. Raise their children, depressed. They run to the cave. They hide until that thing bothering them has died down. People have gotten real good about being functional in dysfunction. Well, I'm teaching tonight. We have spent more time trying to cover up than offer up. Let me tell you something. You start offering up praise, whew, I'm telling you what right now, it's like, hallelujah. I'm talking about the real praise. I'm talking about broken down, messed up, dirty praise that the enemy is trying to warp our mind. I'm talking about fighting the real fight, and not with hiding, but with my prayer, with coming to God. I'm talking about standing in a cave while you're running from your life, and God already said who you was. See, David was already messed up from the beginning. His real mom was an Amorite. She wasn't even a Hebrew. That's where he got his red hair from. Dear God. Years ago, Anna's smiling, she knows what I'm going to say. Years ago, we was preaching in Bentonville. And there was this guy, and the pastor's daughter and husband was there. And she had brown hair and he had blonde hair, and they had this little girl, and she had the brightest little red hair. She was about 4 years old or 5. And I was sitting across the table, and I said, young lady, where did you get that red hair? And she said, from the milkman. Her daddy liked to fell out of the seat, and mama was eating something, and she liked to choke. And I just looked at her, and I started laughing, and nobody else there thought it was funny. She looked at her husband, and she said, I told you to quit saying that to her, because this was going to happen. But see, David is doing what his daddy done. He is trying to cover up. Most of us fall into a weak area. I'm trying to help somebody here. I want you to know that the real fight has got to be fought. You can't come to church and put on a mask and play a role and just think, because I showed up, it's going to be all right. Well, I'm a tithe payer. I'm going to be fine. I'm a leader in the church. Listen, there are some things I cannot do for you that you're going to have to do. You got to stand in the middle of it. You got to quit running to the cave, and you got to stand and face it, because there are some things that you're fighting that is not even your fault. David's mom was an Amorite. He had red hair, freckle face, looked like Opie. Samuel's coming into town to find the king. David says, crap. Not David, Jesse. Don't let David come in here. Nobody really knows about him. Hide him. Put him in the field. Some said, well, David was the youngest, so he just went out into the field and worked. Now, honey, where I grew up in, the youngest didn't work. Well, I got thinking about that, and I thought, this don't even make no sense. See, the youngest didn't have to do nothing. Oh, that's mama's baby. Oh, look. Oh, yeah. Well, I remember when I was that age, I didn't get that. And so David's in the field because he's the youngest? No, David's in the field because he don't have black hair and black eyes and dark skin because he's got light skin and he's redheaded. And Jesse is playing, my God, I'm about to run in here. Jesse is playing a role and he's hiding. Samuel walks right up in the middle of it. Goes through all of them. He says, got another one? Well, I do have one more. Out in the field. Samuel says, I'll wait. Listen, they didn't get on Twitter or Facebook or cell phone or walkie-talkie. They didn't have GPS. They didn't know where the boy's at. Because every time he went out, he killed a bear and a lion. So they brought him back. Jesse is hiding. So normally David, am I helping anybody tonight? Falls right in, starts doing what daddy does. So I'll go to a cave. But David, you got to go to Judah. Well, Mom and Daddy, I'm just going to drop you off here in Moab. We have relatives here. Y'all look at me like, oh my God. We have relatives here in Moab. I got to go figure out what God. I want to tell you right now, your family ain't got time for you to try to figure out what God is doing. Take off the mask. Quit being an actor. This ain't Hollywood. This is your life. It's not complicated. It is simple, but you got to put down the hurt and the pain and the lies and all the unforgiveness. Come on, somebody. You ain't got time to deal. You ain't got time to deal with that anymore. You got to live the simple life.